Hey everyone, I've had a lot of subscriber and member requests for an analysis of Eli Lilly stock to answer whether or not the stock is a buy or if it's a sell or if it's a hold. So that's what I'll do in this video here. I will evaluate Eli Lilly, its latest quarterly results, the pipeline in the investments of drug development, the next 5 years earnings per share expectations, then looking back longer term, what kind of success has the company had? Has it been able to deliver this success profitably? And then compare it all against its valuation to determine if this investment is worthwhile for long-term investors. So let's begin. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now. Alright, so in its latest quarterly update, Eli Lilly said that their progress in addressing some of the world's most significant healthcare challenges has resulted in increased demand for our medicines. As we continue to make pipeline investment that position us for future growth, we are rapidly expanding manufacturing capacity to make our incretin medicines available to more patients. And boy, is that ever needed. They have demand as far as the eye can see for their medicines, and it's a matter of being able to produce enough to meet that demand. Medicine, I like to say, is one of the best customer value propositions out there because people feeling these ailments would be willing to pay very, very high prices in order for to be cured or to be relieved of these illnesses. And so these companies make these large investments in research and development, and they don't always succeed, but when they do succeed, they make large returns on that investment. And the way to measure these companies is over a longer period of time to determine what their success rate has been, and that will be evidenced in their revenue, their profitability, their cash flow longer term, not just for one product. So their volume increases lately, you've probably heard their substantial popularity. The growth is coming from Mounjaro, Zepbound, Verzenio, and Jardianus, and this is partially offset by declines in Trulicity. Now, the key here is what I talked about earlier, that the strong demand for the company's incretin medicines outpaced supply increases. So they already increased supply, but the demand increased by much more than they increased supply. The company continues to expand manufacturing capacity, with the most significant production increases in 2024 expected in the second half of the year. So in the second half of this year, they're really going to ramp up production. And since demand is already there, this production will just go to meet that demand, and sales are likely to increase meaningfully. Now, these products have shown significant results, and that's why they're such highly demanded by the marketplace, by the people using it. And so it's likely to continue generating strong revenue as far as the eye can see because demand is so strong. They go on to say that the company's incretin medicine led to wholesaler back orders for these products at the quarter end. And the company expects tight supply to continue as growing production volume is outpaced by demand. So still, even in the back half of the year when they're going to expand manufacturing substantially, there's still going to be demand that's going to outpace that supply. So in the short to mid-term, Lilly expects sales growth for incretin medicines to primarily be a function of the quantity the company can produce and ship. So that's great to hear. It's pretty much we can sell as much as we can make. Isn't that an attractive position to be in as a business when you know you have so much demand just waiting for you, and your revenue is just a matter of how much you can make. How much can you make effectively and ship it out? Of course, you've got to be careful. You can't be clumsy in the manufacturing of these medicines because people's lives are at risk. But it's comforting to know that the market is there. All you've got to do is produce, and you've got a market for your products. That's an excellent position to be in. Now, in order to be in this position, the company has to invest in research and development. That's how it creates these discoveries. And so research and development is largest in these healthcare companies, and it increased 27% to $252 billion. In other words, it was 29% of revenue. That's a large percentage of revenue. But I don't mind when companies do this when they have a history of success. If you've demonstrated you're really good at what you do, I don't mind you doing more of it, right? Eli Lilly is one example of that. Pfizer would be another. Netflix in another industry would be another example. They've demonstrated skill in creating content, so I'm okay as an investor if they decide to make more content. I want them to continue making more and more content. Of course, I don't want them to just go from 10 movies a year to 1,000 movies a year. I want them to be reasonable with their increases to not cause disruption to the process. But, if they go from 10 to 13 to 18 to 24 to 35 to 48 to 75, I would be happier and happier and happier as an investor because I could be reasonably confident that those investments are going to lead to increasing customer consumption. And that's the name of the game, to get customers your products. And so I don't mind Eli Lilly increasing spending here because longer term, the company has demonstrated excellent increases. Now you could see over time their revenue growth has accelerated. Their lows have been lower and their highs have been higher. And in the most recent quarter, revenue grew by 26%. I wouldn't be surprised if this increases throughout the year as they ramp up manufacturing. And what's more impressive is over the years, now in the last decade, their operating profit margin has expanded along with growth in the business. So they've learned how to do this effectively. They've learned how to run this process more effectively. They've learned how to turn more of their research and development into products and products that turn into cash flow and profits for investors. Now, cash flow from operations over a trailing 12-month, you can see that huge drop-off, but that can be explained by the large investments in increasing their manufacturing capacity. So this isn't a situation where you see this drop-off in cash flow from operations and warning signs go out. This isn't that case. This is a case where you have clear demand for your product. The market is there waiting for you to produce so that you can meet that market. And this is Eli Lilly ramping up production, ramping up spending on manufacturing expansion to meet that demand. So I'm okay with this as well. Now, looking ahead over the next 5 years, the analysts on Wall Street that are following Eli Lilly stock, they expect its earnings per share to grow by 62% over the next 5 years as they reap the benefits of these latest discoveries and start to generate revenue and profits from those investments. So robust expectations from Eli Lilly over the next 5 years. And it's trading at a forward price to earnings of 46.22. It's not cheap. It's about the price that it's been trading for, about the midpoint going back all the way to July of 2021. There were moments where it was trading at a lower valuation, but there were times when it was trading at a higher valuation. So this is about the middle of its valuation range over the last 3 years. What's more, its excellent prospects on profitability from these new products that are already in the market, and then a strong pipeline of new products that are showing success in trials, shows investors that it's reasonable to expect the company to deliver the earnings per share growth forecasted by Wall Street. So all in all, I think the risk versus reward is worthwhile, and I would rate Eli Lilly stock as a buy at current valuations. Did you know that over 90% of the people that watch my channel are not subscribed? It'll really help support my channel if you hit that subscribe button. And oh, by the way, one of the benefits of being subscribed is that I take requests from subscribers more often than I do from non-subscribers. So if you prefer that benefit, please subscribe to the channel.